What are you doing? Enjoying the ocean? But we have a podcast to do.
Okay, welcome to the Science Trek podcast. David Wilkins and Walt Snyder from Boise State University's Geosciences Department are here to answer questions about the oceans.
And here we go.
Hi, my name is JB, and I go to Riverside Elementary School, and my question is, why is the ocean blue?
Well, the ocean is blue not for the reason you might think. It is not due to the fact that it's just reflecting the color of the already blue sky. That's what most people would think. What it's really due to is the way the ocean absorbs certain colors of sunlight and reflects other colors of sunlight. Sunlight has a full spectrum of colors. Think of the rainbow. And when that rainbow from the sun hits the ocean water, the water itself absorbs the reds and violets and reflects back mostly the blue. And so the reflected light, the reflected color is what you understand as the color of any object you're looking at. So it's blue because it's absorbing the red color from sunlight and reflecting back the blue.
Hi, my name is Luke, and I go to Riverside Elementary. My question is, I heard that there's a floating island of trash. Where is it located, and how big is it?
Sadly, there are actually several trash zones out in the middle of the ocean. Everything that we toss into the streams and rivers eventually ends up into the ocean. So plastics, bottles, cans, everything gets washed out there. And with the ocean currents in the big ocean basins, Pacific, the Atlantic, and the north and south of each of those basins, there are these large areas called gyres. It's where each hemisphere of water is circulating around the center of the ocean basin itself in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. And so all of the material, all the flotsam and jetsam, all the plastic particles, all eventually end up floating in a shallow area, a shallow zone of about 4 to 5 to 10 feet deep, and migrate over time into the center of the ocean basins and where it accumulates. The fish don't know the difference because the particles are so small they look like things they might eat normally, and so they eat them. And then the fish die because they can't digest the plastic either. It's a real problem, and it's very, very sad.
Hi, my name is Sadie, and I go to Kamiah Elementary School in Kamiah, Idaho. And my question is, which ocean is the biggest of them all?
The biggest ocean of all is the Pacific at about 64 million square miles. The Atlantic is about half that size at 33 million square miles. And then the Indian Ocean is around 25 million square miles. But the Pacific is definitely the biggest of them all.
Hi, my name is Bailey, and I go to Riverside Elementary School. And my question is, how long do whales live?
Whales, because they're so large and because they live in such cold conditions, have a very slow metabolism. They age fairly slowly. They can live decades. 60, 70, 80 years is not uncommon for whales. And we don't do this because we see whales blowing out birthday cakes with candles on them. But when we find whale bones on the shoreline, we can look at their teeth structures and their jaw structures and get an idea about how old they are.
Hi, my name is Megan. I go to Sagal Elementary School, and my question is, why does the ocean have currents?
The ocean has currents fundamentally because of two factors: wind and the fact that the Earth rotates. Major wind circulation on the Earth is that winds tend to blow to the west at the equator and to the east at the poles, both the North Pole and the South Pole. So if you just imagine the Pacific, so the wind's blowing to the west across the equator, the water's moving from the Americas towards towards Japan and the Philippines and the Pacific side. And as it hits the west side of the ocean, it then makes a turn to the north, flows all the way up north where it catches, then the winds are blowing to the east, and that that also helps promote the currents then to move back to the east. Then they move down along in the northern hemisphere, down along, say, our coast, and then they go back across the Pacific again at the equator. Now, what causes those to turn is the fact that when the Earth turns, the western moving water is forced to turn to the right. And so that the combination of the Earth turning and the winds is what creates these big ocean, what they're called ocean gyres, that have constant and consistent directions of movement.
That's all the time we have for this podcast.
Thank you for joining us. If you want to learn more about science topics, be sure to subscribe to the Science Trek podcast.
And for more information about oceans, check out the Science Trek website. You'll find it at sciencetrek.org.
Funding for Science Trek is provided by the Laura Moore Cunningham Foundation, the Idaho National Laboratory, and supporters like you. Thank you.